Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today I have a rather large book haul for you. I don't know how I acquired so many books in such a short time. I would say 80 to 90% of these books I got within 2 days, and it was because of a really great library book sale and then a really fun day of going to some little free libraries. So let's just jump into the 30 plus books I have to haul. And actually, I always forget my ebooks, so I'm going to start out with those. The first one I have is The Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. I picked this one up on an Amazon sale for $1.99, but I had a credit, and so it ended up being no money at all. And this is the fourth in her wedding date series. It's the next one I need to read in this series, and so I thought might as well get it. This one sounds like it is about the holidays, and so maybe I could read it in December or this winter to have a holiday romance. The next one that I grabbed on a similar sale to the first is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first in the Grishaverse series. I had acquired Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo at a library book sale or something similar about a year ago, and I was told I need to read the Shadow and Bone duology, so it shows how much I know about the Grishaverse. But again, it was so cheap that I figured I should just get it for my Kindle so that I can read those Shadow and Bone and what's the other one before I actually read Six of Crows. Okay, the next one on my Kindle is The Measure by Nikki Erlich. I have heard about this one everywhere. I think all of the adults in the world receive a box, and in that box is a string, and the length of the string tells you how long you live. And it's just kind of this question as to, do you open the box? Do you not? Do you want to find out when you die, or do you not? And I recently read a book called The Immortalists, and I kind of liked that concept. It really made me think as to what I would do in that situation, and so I want to give The Measure a try. The next one I got for free on my Kindle is All the Little Raindrops by Mia Sheridan. The only thing I know about this book is that I think Mia Sheridan is a pretty big thriller author. Maybe I'm making that up, but it's the only name I knew on the Amazon First Reads list, and so I just got this one for a fun thriller, maybe in the future. And then the last one of my Kindle books that I got is The Second Life of Muriel West by Amanda Scanador. And this one sounds like a woman gets leprosy and is shunned to a leprosy colony. And I just thought that sounded really interesting. Muriel West is her name. I believe that she was a pretty well-known actress, and then with this diagnosis, she just had to go off into the middle of nowhere and completely lose that recognition, that fame, and start a new life with leprosy. So yeah, I don't know. That sounds interesting to me. A good historical fiction. Okay, those are the ebooks. Now let's just look at my book of the months quick. I realize you should probably say books of the month, but I call them book of the months. Okay, the book I got in August was Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have read this author before, and this is her first book written as an adult fiction. I said that weird, but this is her first adult fiction novel, and this one, another like predict the future, can tell your death date. I believe that there is a woman in a family who can predict what day people will die, and she calls people together for a wake of sorts, and so her family predicts that she is going to die soon, and we just follow along with what's going on. So this sounds really, really interesting. Then in September, I got Evil Eye by Etaf Rum. I have heard really great things about Etaf Rum's A Woman Is No Man. I have not read it, but I think I would like to. This one says it is about a Palestinian American woman and how she finds the meaning of a fulfilling life and the ways that an unresolved past can affect our present. So I think that this is just a contemporary, and it might be a little hard-hitting, which if you know me, I love a hard-hitting contemporary. So this seems right up my alley. Plus, I really just like the eye on the cover. It's cool. Then just in October, I got The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. This is a little bit of a stretch for me. I'm not the biggest fantasy reader, but I feel like this is maybe more magical realism fantasy, and so I wanted to give it a try. This says a woman risks everything to end her family's centuries-old curse, solve her mother's disappearance, and find love in this mesmerizing novel from the best-selling author of Spells for Forgetting. I've heard good things about Spells for Forgetting and this author, and so I wanted to give this one a try. The last book that I have to tell you about, before I get to the ones that I got in those 2 days, is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I had seen this one everywhere. I loved the daisies on the cover, and my book club that I have with my friends actually decided to read this for our November meeting. So I will be picking this up very soon to complete it by the first Monday in November. This is about a woman and her daughters in like Michigan. Yeah, in Michigan. And she kind of tells her daughters about her past and opens up a whole can of worms. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but I've heard that it is phenomenal and it won that Reese's Book Club sticker. So I'm excited to get to it. All right, here's the books I got at all of the little free libraries that I went to with my friend Molly. Well, some of them were from Little Free Libraries, some were from Molly directly, so thank you, Molly, for adding to my book collection. And 2 were from an author I actually bought straight from her at a book festival. So let's look at these. The first is The Diary of a Bookseller by Sean Bythell. This, I just can't not take a book that has the word book in the title. This was from Molly. And I think it is just about a bookseller and his day-to-day life. I thought it was so cute and quirky how he writes like Monday, April 7th, online orders 6, books found 6. So he is trying to acquire books for his bookstore, but then also sell books. So I think that's cute. I'm big into numbers, and so the fact that he tells you the exact number of orders and books found and then the amount of customers he has had and the amount of money he's made that day. I think that sounds so fun. And it's been like a huge dream of mine to run a bookstore, own a bookstore. I don't think that'll ever happen in my lifetime, but it'll be fun to read about someone who does own a bookstore. The next one from Molly is The Long Call by Anne Cleves. This is the first in a series, I believe. Yeah, introducing Detective Matthew Venn. This takes place in North Devon, where 2 rivers converge. There is a detective named Matthew Venn, and he stands outside the church as his estranged father's funeral takes place. On the day Matthew left the strict evangelical community he grew up in, he lost his family too. Now as he turns and walks away again, he receives a call from one of his team. A body has been found on the beach nearby. A man with a tattoo of an albatross on his neck, stabbed to death. So it looks like Matthew is solving this case in his hometown. Sounds interesting. The next from Molly is Saint X by Alexis Shaith? No, what's her name? Shaitkin. I just couldn't see it with the sticker. I believe this is another mystery. It looks like we follow a young woman named Claire. When she was 7 years old, her college-age sister disappeared, and now Claire is older, and some new knowledge resurfaces later in life about her sister's disappearance. So, sounds cool, and the cover is really pretty. From Molly, but not from Molly. This was actually one of the books I was going to get rid of on that day, and she said, "No, Becca, it's so good, you have to keep it." So I unhauled this a while ago, but I'm actually going to haul it again. This is The Aviator's Wife by Melanie Benjamin. This is about Charles Lindbergh's wife. It's a historical fiction. I really like historical fiction, and should be good. And if it's not good, Molly, you're to blame. Okay, more from Molly. Bird in Hand by Christina Baker Klein. Looks like we are following a woman who gets in a car accident, and definitely was just an accident with it being dark and it raining, but it completely turns this woman's life upside down. So, who knows? Maybe it wasn't really an accident, but we will find out when reading this book. Molly gave me a Taylor Jenkins read after I do. I have read the four most recent Taylor Jenkins reads, Evelyn Hugo, Carrie Soto, Daisy Jones, and Malibu Rising, but I haven't read much of her backlist, and so I am looking forward to trying this one out. I believe this is about a man and a woman who decide to take a break from their marriage. They've been happily married for quite a while, but they're just in a rut, and so they take a break from each other for an entire year. The only rule is we can't see each other for that entire year. No contact whatsoever. And they learn whether their love can withstand this separation or not. Last one from Molly. Thank you, Molly. This is The Love of My Life by Rosie Walsh. I actually just saw Michelle from Michelle's Library read this book, and she said it was like an okay read up until the very last page, and she said it completely made it a 5-star for her. And I want to know what that's all about. So I think this is about a woman. Yeah, a woman who has a husband and a daughter, but she has this secret past that her husband has no clue about. And we find out, along with her husband, what is actually happening. Sounds good. I really am liking and digging domestic thrillers lately, so sounds up my alley. The couple that I got at the book festival is actually a series. It starts with The Witness Tree, and then the second is Wild Horses. This is by Amy Pendino. She is a Minnesota author, and I was so happy that I got to support her in purchasing these books. This book is a mystery. On this woman's farm, there is this tree that splits in two like this, and when she bought the farm, she learned that if you cut down that tree, there will be a curse on you, and she cuts down the tree, and we follow what happens after that. And then the sequel just goes right along with it. So I'm excited to try these out. Plus the author signed them for me and was just so sweet. Now for my little free library finds. I got the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaefer and Annie Barrows. This book was one of my favorites of 2022, and I didn't actually own it. I read it from the library. And so I'm so happy to own my own copy. Another find in a little free library was We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang. I had seen this one on Book of the Month when it first came out. Looks like July of 2021. And Molly said it was worth the read. It says it's in the vein of Ask Again Yes and The Nest. We Are the Brennans explores the staying power of shame and the redemptive power of love in an Irish Catholic family torn apart by secrets. I love a family story. Should be good. And then the next three are a series, maybe just a trilogy, I think. 3 books. The Gaither Sisters Trilogy, I believe. It starts with One Crazy Summer, then we've got PSB 11, and Gone Crazy in Alabama. These are all by Rita Williams Garcia. I saw Krista read this one very recently for Middle Grade March, and I wanted to fill up my middle grade shelves with some good books, and I will likely get to these 3 in March of next year. The story of this first book follows 3 girls in Oakland, California in the 1960s, and they are in search of their mother who abandoned them. So, sounds really great. Sounds like a good middle grade, and just the power that sisters can have. Now let's talk about the books I got at the library book sale a couple of weekends ago. I kind of already showed them off in one of my vlogs, but I'll tell you a little bit more about why I picked them up. The first 2 I've got here are China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. One of them is number 2 and one of them is number 3 in the Crazy Rich Asian series by Kevin Kwan. I own the first one in the series and I just couldn't help myself. Couldn't stop from buying number 2 and 3 in the series. I hope I like the series or else I'll be getting rid of the whole series. But I don't know. It sounds just like a fun time. I definitely won't be reading these for a while because I have to read Crazy Rich Asians first, but I'm excited. And I think it could be fun to read the book, watch is it a TV series or a movie? I don't even know, but I like seeing how adaptations work for books. Okay. I haven't talked too long. Then I got the next in the Louise Penny series, the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series, I should say. This is The Beautiful Mystery. This is book number 8. I had just gotten book number 7, I think, at a library book sale. My library has a great book sale, Friends of the Library sale. So this is not the next book I need to get to in this series, but the one after that. So this is a mystery series set in Three Pines in Quebec, and we follow Inspector Armand Gamache as he solves these mysteries. It's just so fun and such great books for winter. Next up, I got The Ship of Brides by Jojo Moyes. I really love Jojo Moyes as an author. I've read a lot of her works, but I didn't even realize that this was a book, and so maybe there are more that I haven't read. But it sounds like this is right after World War II ends, and a bunch of women, who all happen to be brides of soldiers, are on a ship back to England from Australia to reunite with their husbands. And sounds good. I just really like her writing, and I connect with her romances. So I'm excited for this one. Then I picked up The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. I had seen this one, was it on Amy's channel? Amy from A Star Reads, did you read this? We follow a lighthouse keeper, and I think he hears the cries of a baby, and he and his wife take care of it, ? I don't know. Sounds good to me. I don't know, lighthouses kind of intrigue me, just like the isolation of it all, and so this could be good. Oh, this was such an amazing find. I got Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I have read only one Ruta Sepetys. Is that seriously true? I can't remember, but I've heard that this is one of her better ones. I mean, all of them are really good, I've heard. But this is Winter, 1945, 4 Refugees, 4 Secrets. Each one born of a different homeland, each one hunted and haunted by tragedy, lies, and war. Have I read this book? It really sounds like the book Refugee, but that's a middle grade. I really don't think I've read this, but it sounds so similar. I'm like having weird deja vu. Am I going crazy? I don't think I've read this. But I feel like there's a similar book that follows like 3 different people who are escaping their homeland, called Refugee. Please let me know in the comments if I'm right about this or not. Tell me I'm not losing my mind. Anyway, excited to get to another Ruta Sepetys eventually. This one was a very last minute grab at the library book sale. I had my stack, I was about to pay, and then I was like, wait, what's that over there I see? It's The Plot by Jean Hanff Korelitz. This one reminds me of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. It sounds like a struggling author steals a different author's plot for a book and writes his own. So, I don't know, should be fun. Then we've got a romance. This is The Dating Plan by Sarah Desai. And when I was adding this to my spreadsheet, I realized that this is the second in a series. Dang it. But maybe it's just a companion to, like, it's called The Marriage Plot or something. It says, even with a step-by-step plan, these fake fiancés might accidentally fall for each other in this hilarious, heartfelt, romantic comedy. I do love fake dating. Should be good. Plus, the purple of the cover is super fun. I can see the end. All right, this one I was super excited to find. This is The Other Einstein by Marie Benedict. I believe we just follow the life of Albert Einstein's wife. The Other Einstein reveals the forgotten woman whose light was lost in Einstein's enormous shadow. Should be good. How many times have I said should be good, or I think I should like this, or whatever. The next one, I'm just going to briefly show. I couldn't pass it up. The money's going to the library, not to this author, and it was just beautiful. Plus, yeah, I'm interested to read the screenplay. I know that there was a movie adapted from the play. The movie, I think I fell asleep in, but maybe I'd enjoy the story better if I read it. Okay, I'm crazy. I bought a second copy of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. If you don't know, this was my favorite book of 2022, and this copy I think is even nicer than my Book of the Month copy. So my original thought was I was going to buy this book and give it to someone as a gift for Christmas, but I think I might keep this copy and give someone my copy, even though I have that one annotated. We'll see. If you don't know, this is about Sam and Sadie, and they started their friendship over video games on a hospital kids floor, and their life has grown. They've grown apart, come back together, but always has been intertwined with the games that they play and how they play together. So, such an amazing book. And yeah, snagged this for $2. Oh, how could I not? Okay, the next one is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I just saw that this is being made into a television show or movie series. Man, sounds like I should do something with these adaptations. But a fun romance, I think. A couple, not a couple, a man and a woman share an apartment because they have jobs that they work at complete opposite times of the day. And so they never even see each other, but they share an apartment. And then I think they fall in love with each other. Probably. It's a romance. Why wouldn't they? Last book. And ending kind of anticlimactically. Because I don't know much about this book. This is 13 Rue Thérèse by Elena Molly Shapiro. Or, as you would say in French, 13 Rue Thérèse, which I think is maybe how you're supposed to say it. But I believe this is an epistolary novel. And I love epistolary novels. They're just like so fun. I feel like you can read them so quickly, and I'm excited to figure out what this is about. So maybe not epistolary per se, but it is a box of mementos, and someone has opened it. And it tells them a story about memory, war, and passion. So kind of. I mean, there are pictures, and I think that there are letters that they find in this box of mementos. So kind of. Should be great. Yeah. This is the aftermath of this haul. Let's see if I can make some sort of pretty stack to show you. We're gonna have to do it in multiple stacks. Here's stack one. And stack two. Even taller. But these are all the paperbacks. Ah! Those fell. Sorry for that noise. So, there are the 30 plus things I acquired in basically 2 days. Let me know if you have read any of these, what your thoughts are on them, if you liked them, if you didn't, I'd love to hear about it. Also tell me what I should prioritize out of all of these books. It'd be great to have some bookish conversation with you down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you'd like to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!